list. How does that work? What what is your unique selling proposition, basically?
Sure. So my philosophy is that uh, basically, if you ask a realtor, they will probably feel differently, but the public, unfortunately, looks at realtors and sees all of us charging the same fees for doing the same thing. Now, obviously, some people are better at it than others, but the public just doesn't really appreciate that feeling, so to speak. And so, what I figured out was if I charge a little bit less money, I can generate a lot more listings, but those listings generate a lot of buyers. And so that's basically the philosophy behind what we do is rather than working hard to try to get a higher fee listing, we would rather work minimally or not at all to get a lot of lower fee listings and then generate buyers from those and the buyers pay us a much higher fee.
So what you don't get on the listing, you make up on the buyer side.
Correct. My average agent is doing about 60% listings and 40% buyers.
Okay, well that makes sense. You kind of flipped it on its head when you created this. So you kind of flipped it over. And it's funny because we're live also, and people will probably look at me and say, "Oh, you're a traditional realtor. Why would you have somebody in your room that does something different like that?" And I said, "Well, you know what? We all have to make a living, and it's important for me to understand what other things are out there so that I could be competitive. I mean, if there wasn't other companies out there, it would be bad for competition. So,
So it's funny you mentioned that. So like I've been hanging out in a lot of David Hill's rooms, if you know David Hill.
David's awesome.
Yeah, David's great. David always invites me up to be a speaker, and I'm welcome to say whatever I want to say, completely, uncensored. And I dropped him a message earlier today, as a matter of fact, saying, you know what, a lot of your agents, a lot of people you coach are probably dealing with companies like mine out there. Yeah. If you ever want to do a room on cold calling and how to handle objections for super active lower fee brokerages in your markets, I'd be happy to help. And David was like, dude, that sounds awesome. I would love to do that. Now then, contrast that with another guy. I was supposed to have a call scheduled with a guy this morning because I'm writing an article for Inman about the Department of Justice and what all is going with NAR. Yeah. And I was supposed to have a call with him earlier today at 8:30. And he sent me a message. He's like, no, I see what you do and how you do it. He's like, we don't need to talk. I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, we weren't even going to talk about what I am and what I do. Like, I was going to answer your questions that you said you had for me. He couldn't put his head in the sand fast enough.
And that's unfortunate because you can't put your head in the sand. There's competition out there, and you know that it's there. And if you don't think it's there, then you're going to be in shock when somebody go for a listing appointment and they just, there is business for everybody, and specific buyers and sellers will use certain people or certain companies. So it's a law of average game. The more you go out, the more you see, the more you talk to, the more business you're going to get. And either one of us is not going to win all the business because there's going to be some people that are into traditional real estate and what we do. And as long as you're adding value, they realize that.
Yes. So like I told David and one of his agents this morning, I told him, I was like, I don't say this very often, but I would put you in this category as well. It's like, you guys are charging much higher fees than we are, but at the same time, we're almost no threat to you because you're really, really, really good at what you do and you really go the extra mile for your clients, which justifies a higher fee. The people that are getting disrupted by companies like mine are the people that they have no value proposition. They don't know their market very well. They have no brand. They're not good at what they do. They think they should just be entitled business because they are a realtor. And I'm sorry, you're not. You shouldn't.
Absolutely, you are correct. And you know, this room was created for new agents, and if you were going to go back to first getting a real estate license, what kind of tips would you give to a new agent?
Now, look, my tip would be different than most, but this is what I would do. If I had it to do all over again, regardless of the road that I'm on now or any other road, I would I would join I would join a company that's going to give me a reasonable amount of broker support, that kind of stuff. But mainly, I would be worried about my splits because with the internet right now, and hell with Clubhouse and rooms like this, you can get better training than you can get in an office. But what I would recommend agents do is literally do whatever you have to do to get 10 to 15 signs in the ground as quickly as possible. And what I mean by that is if you need to call local custom home builders and offer them an amazing deal just to get listings, whatever you can do to get listings is what you need to do because listings solve every problem in real estate. And so whether it's promising to do an open house every weekend, or promising to lower a fee, or promising to waive commission, if you do in the deal, whatever you got to do to get signs in the ground, that's what you need to do, and nothing else really matters, in my opinion.
I agree. You have to list to last. And the funny thing is, my value proposition, I work with a lot of heroes in the community, and I basically get back 20% of my gross back to them when they use my services. Um, I was Army, and my babies were less than a little bit over 2 pounds, 2 pounds 11, 2 pounds 15. And if it wasn't for the incredible medical staff, they wouldn't be 17 years old now. So about 3 years ago, I made it my passion and purpose to get back to heroes in the community just for doing what they do every day. So I give 20% of my gross back to them, which many agents out there would not even think about doing, because a lot of them are, out for the almighty dollar. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to have a purpose and a passion for what you do. Otherwise, you know, when you run into a wall or you run into somebody who says no, you're just going to collapse and not be able to go any further. What do you think about that?
Yeah. No, dude, look, I think that's awesome. Um, so my wife co-owned the company with me. She was a Navy corpsman, battlefield nurse, and she loved what she did. She loved her time in the military.
Thank you for her service. I appreciate it.
And dude, thank you for yours. And so at the end of the day, people want to feel like it's no different than negotiations. So in negotiations, if you're negotiating on behalf of a seller or a buyer, they need to feel like they're not. They need to feel like they got something. They need to feel like they've won something. And by you doing that for them, okay, it makes them feel like, holy shit, this dude loves me and cares about me. And that's what it takes to get referrals. That's what it takes to grow your business. It's not like pumpkin pie recipes and birthday cards to your dog. It's not football schedules. It's literally like, hey, I want you to feel like you cared about me in some way, shape, or form. And that makes people feel special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And speaking of people feeling special, we got Alicia that's been patient and waiting. How are you, Alicia? Welcome to the room.
Hello, how are you? So yes, I am Alicia. I'm actually a realtor with eXp. Um, I got licensed in what was it, February, and then I ended up becoming a full broker that April actually, and I only did that because of the structure of eXp, being able to brand yourself and things like that, and the fact that they only really give us 6 months to become a full broker anyway. So I decided to just get it out of the way. Um, but I'm listening, and I've been doing. I'm one of those hungry um, agents. I don't know if it's because I'm new or I like to say it's because I'm from New York, so I have that hungry jungle persona about me. But I just came, and I would like to ask a question because I just came across a client who's actually selling land. Since I've been a agent, I've only closed one deal. Was able to close on a condo, but now I'm trying to get heavily more into lead generation and building myself so I can get more clients and get referrals. I came across a for sale by owner who was actually selling 8 acres, 8 acres of his land. However, half of it you cannot build on. So I was trying to figure out. I'm one of those type of people. I don't like to just have a present a problem, not have a resolution. So I want to know if you guys know anything about that or have any creative ideas on what we can, think of to do with that aspect so that so many interested parties who hear about it, they don't just run away when they hear that half of it can't be built on.
Did you pull a property profile on that property and see that?
Yes. And he did all that. The only thing he didn't do was get it surveyed and mapped. And then it's also by a creek, but that's really as much. I just know that from what he did on the property profile, he can't build on almost half of that land.
Is it
It's zoned for multifamily and everything like that. So I was really trying to think of something that can still bring value to whatever project that they are going to put there that they can utilize that land for instead of it just sitting there being empty space.
have you thought of um like people pay to have experiences. People pay to have experiences like an outdoor experience or a wagon experience or things like that. Thinking outside the box. People are paying
That's a good one. I
eh,
didn't
like
think about that one. I
like
kept coming across the cell phone tower. Yeah, throw a cell phone tower over there.
cell phone tower could be a good choice. Also, what are the rules in your area for like cannabis?
I'm in the city area, so they're not going to go for it.
Okay,
If
so
it was more country-ish, then maybe I'd have some leniency, but
okay, so thinking about people that want to have an experience, like a wagon experience or like a some type of outdoor experience. You got a creek there. How about how about some teepees? Put some teepees on it and make it a teepee resort.
that'd be pretty cool.
Why not put billboards?
Billboards. Part of it is on a busy street line, so that might be able to work. But then it goes in deep, so I also want to be able to utilize, that deeper part of it, and I think that would be really good. Billboards at one point, and then you get to a certain point, and you have, I don't know, something awesome going through there.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of the Airbnb rooms and they talk about different people that having different experiences and with not even Airbnb, just rental arbitrage. Look up and see what kind of things people are asking for excursions, for excitement, for events, for things like that. Look up some of
You're
those things.
absolutely right. Maybe I could do something military themed because we're right by the military base. So maybe I can give them kind of like a military experience or something. I can bring that and pitch that. Maybe, that's really good. See, I'm kind of happy I'm the only one in here.
There you go. You come in for tips on Tips Tuesday, and you get some. So
Right.
make sure you ping your friends, and let's see who we could pour into. I'm pinging some people on the back office here. Grant, I'm going to make you a moderator also. So if you want to bring some people in, I don't know if you have time to do this, but I made you a moderator as well. Um, yeah, I love these rooms because you never know which way they're going to go. You never know what's going to come in. And I got somebody just actually direct message me on my Facebook page, Grant, asking for Section 8 homes. So,
Wow. That's in the area that I live in, I look at a lot of the city planning and stuff like that to see what's going on so that I know I'm trying to learn what's happening in the city and things like that. So when I do speak with either investors or developers, I can tell them what the city has going on and maybe they can get some kind of contracts go with in designated areas. And right now, the city is doing a revitalization plan in a lot of the low income areas. And I was trying to get so many people, to pay attention to that because it was actually a few months before they really started picking up any, kind of business and stuff. I was trying to get people interested and trying to make those kind of movements, but I couldn't really find the right people. So, do you have any tips on that, on like really targeting the right group of people that you're looking for so that you can kind of like solidify your deals a little bit more?
For like low income housing?
Well, I use the low income housing as an example because that was one of my experiences where I couldn't find, serious people who are interested in that. Or, like I said, I couldn't find the right people. But for situations like that or any other situation where that is the case, how do you target the right people? How do you find out who is the right people that are interested?
Hey Grant, do you have an idea for that one?
That's difficult. Getting into some of the investor rooms and find out if there's any investor groups around you. Uh, that's where you can do a lot of stuff with that. We had a client that was selling a ton of homes in like one of the lower price point areas, and a lot of their renters were Section 8. And they loved it. I can tell you on a side note, um, realtors need to be very, very careful when they just knee-jerk response tell people that, oh no, this thing doesn't take Section 8, it doesn't take Section 8, because realtors get in a lot of trouble for doing that. Um, like Google that, realtors get in a lot of issues, a lot of hot water for just blatantly telling people, oh no, there's no Section 8, because realtors don't know how to deal with Section 8. And I'm guilty of that too. I can tell you there's a lot of investors with rental properties that love dealing with Section 8. I don't know much about it. So my guess for where to start hunting would be investor groups, property management groups, people like that.
Well, I know when I did, I was looking into, how to get qualified as an agent to represent section, and I believe that's still the same as like as HUD, where you have to go through that procedure. And I'm not sure, and maybe if you know a little bit more than I do on that, but I know for you to be able to be certified as a realtor to sell HUD homes, you have to go through this whole, like, make a whole packet or something like that and submit it. And, hope and pray that they see yours, love your marketing plan and everything like that, and they'll do it. But there's certain qualifications that you have to have before HUD. And that might also be the same thing when it comes to the Section 8, because I believe they do kind of run hand in hand, right?
What I would say from my experience is find an agent in your area that does HUD and say, listen, I'm interested in helping people with Section 8 housing. How do I do that? And any agent worth a while will at least guide you in the right direction, because you're right. It does come hand in hand with HUD. Um, and do some Google search. Find out where the Section 8 housing is in your areas, and maybe ask some questions of some investors in your area. Go to some of the investor groups in your area. Do you have any like meetup groups with investors in your area?
I have meetup groups, and I'm not personally specifically heading towards Section 8, but that was one of the categories that I was looking into, especially when I very first got my license, because you always turn to what you're close around, and I didn't grow up all rich and fancy, so I turned to exactly what I knew to see how I could try to help my own community, and I realized that's where that might have been the most resourceful for me at that point in time. But as I'm growing and I'm learning more, I'm realizing that I do want to get into uh, different, more residential areas that's not necessarily Section 8. I don't mind Section 8. I don't care. I'll help anyone. But I do want to kind of expand it to become into investing and into development.
I got a website for you. The Money Trees club. The Money Trees realestateforthepeople.club. And what that is a friend of mine, Luis Estrella, that he has a room that used to be 5 days a week, and now it is on Thursdays. And what it is resources. And there's lots of really, really great resources on the moneytrees.club. So take a look at that and see if maybe it would help you, because there's a lot of agents, and there's agents, lenders, and there's all sorts of different types of tools in there to help you understand kind of how you can, first of all, how you can get like $85,000 down for somebody to buy a house. And that's one of the really cool tools there's in there. So go to the moneytrees.club and see if that helps you any. And if that doesn't, go to Real Estate for the People. It's a Facebook group, Real Estate for the People. And every night at 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock my time, Pacific time, there's a live. And there's a lot of really, really knowledgeable people in that group that can help some of those questions, as section 8 and things like that. So there's a couple places that you can go, and come back to these rooms. We may have people coming in here that know about section 8. Actually, I'm going to try to ping some people that I know and see if they will come in and share some time with us. Let's see, Luis. Let's see if Luis will come in. Queen Candace. Let's see who else.
Alicia, if you got a second, I could give you a couple of pointers on some other things.
Definitely have all the time for pointers.
Okay, so whenever, and look, I didn't look up your Facebook profile. I'm driving, but like whenever I look at your profile in here, I'm trying to figure out where you're a realtor at, and it says North Carolina. But that's like it. I see an NC in there, but that's it. Okay, so then I clicked on your Instagram to look up your Instagram, and there's like one photo that says you're an agent, and then none of your bio is filled out that I could see whenever I first joined the page, or when I first visit your page, showing, hey, I'm an agent, here's where I'm an agent, and here's where you get in contact with me. The biggest hurdle that real estate agents have is that we're surrounded by a ton of other real estate agents, and why should somebody use you? Okay? And so every little thing you can do helps. I'm talking about even getting as far down as to, like, this is going to sound conceited at first, I don't mean for it to, but like, I am saved as a favorite in my own phone, to where I can share my contact with people to where I'm not giving them business cards. And in that contact, you'll see my cell, my website, my company website, my email, and then under the title, like the subject, it'll say, I'm a realtor, real estate agent, owner of this company. And so that way, no matter how they search for anything real estate related in their phone, they're going to see me. Okay? So like little things like that will make you memorable to people. Like you don't even realize the little things. Like, look, here's another thing you could do. Go make a template on Canva with like your signature drawn out and some other stuff. Go make a template. Whenever you list the house, have a template that you share that, hey, Alicia just listed this house. Okay? And share it out as a photo across all these things. Don't just put out some text on Facebook, because it's like reading a phone book. People just gloss right over it. But if it's a beautiful photo with a picture of the home and a cute picture of you with like your signature in it or something like that, you just listed a house, it's memorable. Then when you put it under contract, use the same template, slightly tweaked to do the same thing. And when you sell it, use the same template, slightly tweaked to do the same thing. Colors, they got to be the same. Your brand, your image, all that's got to be the same. And next thing you know, all of the people in your sphere will watch you and be like, hang on, she's doing stuff. But it's because they see it. Because it's hard to not see it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
There is some great stuff at
I
eXp.
appreciate that too.
Alicia, there's some great stuff at eXp in our market center that you could start creating things like that, and then take those and put it into Canva. and customize it. Um, so there's some great stuff in there. Take a look if you haven't had a chance to look at it on marketing tools. Um, you can peek and tweak those.
Yeah, I think from there, I've been trying to play with that a little bit, but this is where I'm having an issue, and I don't know if this is more um, just lack of knowledge when it comes to the business aspect or business structuring. But I know on a lot of the stuff it'll say like agent logo and stuff like that, and I don't know if it's just from the world I come from. When they ask for a logo to brand yourself, shouldn't I have already been established as like an LLC or something so that I could put my own logo and my own kind of branding up there?
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, the logo can be anything. If you come like rich and famous and your logo is amazing, then yeah, copyright it, trademark it, all that kind of stuff. But beyond that, just make something. But make something legible, make something that can be seen what it is. There's a lot of people out there that get so damn cute with their logos and stuff that you can't even read it. Like, make it something that people can see. So, look, if you want some interesting homework, go find an agent in your area, or if you want to follow one of mine, there's a girl called Ashley Callahan, ASHLEYCALLAHAN. She does somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 or 70 deals a year, and all she does is post stuff on social media. Literally all she does. Okay? And you can see the kind of stuff she posts. Go friend request her and send her a message and just say, hey, Grant told me to friend request you. Okay? But literally, like, so watch what she does, but don't watch it to be entertained by it. Watch it to figure out what she's doing. Like she posts funny shit. Like anything weird she sees in a house, like something just ridiculously odd, she posts it, and she'll have 100 people in there responding to it and laughing at it, reacting to it, and everything else. Which has gotten her in trouble a couple of times, but still, it's like you're engaging, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, you have to. Social media is social media. So when you see somebody, you're following somebody, and a lot of the social media queens on this app will tell you this. You have to like things, you have to follow them, you have to comment on them, and then do that for a while. And then what you do is then you send them a direct message once they realize that they've seen you before and you've been adding value. I'm going to mute you real quick, Alicia, because it's
I'm sorry.
responding. Okay. Once they realize you're adding value to them and you're following them and adding followers on their social media, they'll allow you to connect with them directly. But you have to create the value. Like, look up Go Go Real Estate. Go Go Real Estate.
Oh my god.
So Grant knows Go Go. So,
Yeah, I know Go Go. It's she's selling other things, but
but she's a, but she but you get her. Also look up the Cowboy Realtor, who is awesome. He just got put in one of the real estate magazines for his TikTok and all these things she's doing. His name is Sean Cochran. Look up Cowboy Realtor,
we
and
got one in my market. It's called the Underdressed Realtor, and he's from just outside New Orleans here where I am, and it's literally like his profile pic is him in a fishing shirt, some cargo shorts, and flip flops with his feet propped up on a real estate sign. And it's like it's impossible not to love the guy. It just is.
that's funny. Yeah, Sean Cochran. If you go in our workplace, look up Sean Cochran, and you'll see he does a lot of social media, TikTok. He's going to start doing some more YouTube. I do a lot of my YouTube. I'm actually right now I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Doing this little clubhouse room. So that's kind of what I do. I do my streaming channels, and I just started doing this probably what 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, honey, and it is picking up. It takes time, like anything, to be picked up, but people know that if there's a newly licensed agent out there that is not able or doesn't know what to do, come into my rooms because we get incredible people like Grant and people that ask questions like Alicia, and we have some people down here in the bottom. Deanna is wonderful. I've been in her rooms before, and Shonda. I don't think she could speak right now, but she is a broker agent in Illinois, Chicagoland. So she's in Chicagoland. I bet you she knows Sean Cochran. Um, awesome, awesome people. Love these rooms. Love when people come up. Deanna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? And by the way, no insult at all, but it is Dina. But thank you for inviting me up to speak. I enjoy listening in on you, even though I'm not newly licensed. Um, I'm new enough that I still enjoy learning new things. So thank you very much for inviting me up.
Absolutely, Dina. I apologize for the name adjustment. Dina, if you were going to give one tip to a new agent, what would you say?
Wow. Um, First of all, you got to get uncomfortable. I think that a lot of the stuff you're asked to do as a new agent is very, very uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it. I thought the people that were telling me to do what they were telling me to do were crazy. That I would just fall into whatever came to me, and that's not the case. And once I got uncomfortable, I got a little more successful, and I saw more growth.
And where can we send you referrals?
Oh, wow, great. I am in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, but Raleigh is in the middle of North Carolina, and so I'm actually licensed to go from Raleigh all the way to the coast. So I can assist any of your referrals around that area, and I would appreciate them.
Absolutely. I gotta let everyone pitch who they are and where they're at and what they're doing and what makes them special and all those wonderful things because you never know who's gonna be listening in these rooms. I'm also streaming on Instagram. I got Instagram going. I got Twitter. I got two of my Twitter channels. I got YouTube, LinkedIn, and you never know where somebody's gonna come from. So, you know, when people come up on these stages, they have to be proud and share where they at because Dina, the other day I had it covered, but there was the other day there I had a client that was looking in your neck of the woods, and I didn't know who to send them to. So now I know Dina handles South Carolina
No, North Carolina.
or North Carolina.
North
Sorry,
Carolina.
Dina handles North Carolina and C.
Although I have a good South Carolina draw, so I might draw down there too.
I went to Fort Jackson in South Carolina.
If you keep doing these, Sam, you should work on getting like a Google knowledge base about you. You know what that is?
No, no, tell me.
So basically, like you know how Twitter has the blue check, like where you've been verified, right? Um, one of the things that you could do, we're working on having this for me and for my company as well, is to have you be so established by Google and to have so much content written by you and or about you that populates across Google that they actually give you a knowledge base, which is effectively being verified by Google. But it makes Google promote the hell out of you completely for free because you are seen as like a thought.
That's that's awesome. That's gold. That's worth
It's gold.
that's gold. Yeah, I'm a Google guide in my local neighborhood. I'm a Google guide. So I have like 1,500 credits on Google Guide. So I am already in the system. And actually, today I just requested some of my network to make a positive comment about me and talk about my character. So,
Makes a lot of sense.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
if you are a new agent and you don't have control of your Google page, that is another piece of advice I would tell somebody right away. I mean, that way if you have reviews, you can respond to them and thank them, or gosh, hopefully you don't get a bad one that you need to address. But very good to have access to your page, and it takes a bit to do that. So if you haven't done it, I would go ahead and do it.
Dana, I'm going to get you to help me with that this week then.
Robert and I did it for him the other day. Robert's down in the audience, and I don't know if he's gotten his access yet. It usually takes about 7 days in the mail if that's the way you choose to have it sent to you.
You know, Sam, if you ever want to do a digital marketing room, I can have my digital marketing team come in, and they could talk about a lot of this stuff.
I would love to. That would be a great one for one of my days for newly licensed agents. Now what? That would be fantastic. Yeah. Hit me in the back channel. Let me know. Yeah, hit me in the back channel so we could talk about that. Robert, welcome up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Robert Hoke. I'll tell you where I'm at. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. Realtor for 1 year, so I'm excited to be on the stage.
Congratulations.
Referrals are welcome. This is a very tourist beer capital area.
Beer? I'm in.
Look, that ain't all they're known for, guys. He's up in the mountains. That's where all the little young hippies are at.
That's funny. So I'm gonna reset the room. This is newly licensed now. What? And it's Tips Tuesday, and Grant just dropped a huge tip on Google Knowledge Base, and I'm actually Googling it as we speak. Dina is in North Carolina. Amy, you haven't had a chance to introduce yourself. Why don't you introduce yourself, Amy?
Thank you. My name is Amy Allen. I am an agent in North Carolina as well. I'm familiar. I know Dina and Robert. Also, we are in another clubhouse group that we are in together, which is nice, with some other realtors in our area. I focus on Dina's a little more east of me. I am more downtown Raleigh, Cary, Holly Springs, Fuquay, some of Garner, of those towns just outside of the Raleigh area. Dina tends to work the other side from like downtown Raleigh. If you split it east and west, I'm more towards the west and she's more towards the east, but we kind of cover whatever within the entire triangle. And then we do send a lot of stuff to Robert whenever it's out towards the mountains in the Asheville area. I've been licensed for about 3 years. Didn't really launch my career until February of this year. I'm going to close out around 4 million in sales, so not too bad. And I would say my advice for a first-time person would be know the difference, or try to get someone to help you understand the difference between knowing what your job is and knowing the difference between being a business owner, because you have to know how to do the job, but you still also have to do the marketing, the admin. You got to know the difference between what part is that you have to get a foundational base on as far as being a business owner, because a lot of us come into these professions after being employees. And so having that mind shift is a little difficult to wrap your mind around, to know the difference between when you're an employee as opposed to an employer or a business owner.
I tell everybody the greatest part about being an agent is you are your own boss and you have tons of free time. The worst part is you are your own boss
And you have plenty of free time. Absolutely.
That one made me laugh, Grant.
That's so true. That's so true. If you don't have control of your time, it gets away from you, and then you go at the end of the day. You're sitting there saying, "What did I get accomplished today?" And when you look back at a day, it's like, "Oh man, I could have done more." And you have to take a look at your calendar and see what your calendar says. So, one of my mentors used to say, if you erase, you must replace. If you erase, you must replace. So if you have 3 hours of time that you just go and knock on doors or call or email your clients or whatever it is, you take those 3 hours. And if you have to, if there's an emergency, quote unquote emergency, which there always is in real estate business, um, make sure you replace that time, because that's time that is not um, flexible. That's time that you need. That's time every day that you need. Say 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever may be. That's time that you need to work on your business.
You want to hear something crazy? So before I ruined my body, I was a basketball coach, and I would play basketball every day at this gym. At and so, I mean, it's funny how you can. I'm a realtor. It's the middle of the day. I'll be playing basketball at least 4 days a week on weekdays. But I was playing basketball with a bunch of guys that own an oil and gas company. They're all engineers or drillers or, you know, tax guys and finance guys for this oil and gas company. And I was probably pulling in 50, 60, 70K per year just from playing basketball at a local gym.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's networking time. Going to the gym. You know, I always go to the gym and I have my when I go to the gym, I would have my badge on, and it would be flashing or it'd be scrolling. I'm known as the neon realtor because I have a mask I wear, and California is really strict on masks. So when I wear my mask, I have it scrolling my real estate stuff across it. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's literally just making a point to tell everybody what you do. I mean, that's a huge part of our business. Just making a point to tell people.
Absolutely. And my car is wrapped. My wife calls it my clown car. It's wrapped with my heroes. It's got police, fire, nurses, teachers, and all of my heroes on the side of it. So it's an electric car, and I drive it around the Santa Cruz Valley, and everyone knows who I am, or they have heard of me at one point. So it's good positive press.
I have a question for the moderators. How do you have a regimented days or day pretty much routine with the exception of what comes in that you've got to do that you couldn't have scheduled in? And if so, do you spend a certain amount of hours every day on lead gen?
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll share this. This is actually lead gen for me. This hour and a half that I'm on this podcast slash clubhouse. This is actually lead gen for me because I'm connecting with agents that maybe don't have a sponsor, or agents that don't have a mentor. And this is actually lead gen for me. So an hour to an hour and a half a day, I'm doing lead gen. So this is like my when I'm not sick. Last week I was sick, so I missed like 3 days, and I felt like I was withdrawing. Um, so yeah, this is time that I've been doing the last 3 weeks, every day. So yeah, there's time that you have to lock down for whatever your lead gen is.
I think for me, so I'm very, very, very like weird with everything that I do and the way I think and everything else. So I, that box doesn't work for me. But I can tell you what I do. I have an ever evolving list of tasks that I have to accomplish, and literally, like, I'm completely open everywhere I go, and every like from clubhouse rooms to everywhere else. I'm always listening to what other people are doing and trying to figure out how I can monetize that for myself. And if I come across something I think is brilliant, I text it to myself in my phone, and then I'll make a task to do it, and then I'll make a task to redo it and improve it and everything else. So like right now, I've got a certain list of tasks that I need to get done in a reasonable amount of time, and as they get wrapped, I'm literally just hanging out at the clubhouse, go gym, play with my kids, do whatever. But some of those days where I just turn it off are the days where I have all my ideas for new tasks that I'm going to do. And then some days I'm working well into 3 o'clock in the morning to knock out more tasks that I need to do. Does that make sense?
Well, first of all, I like both of your answers. One, that Sam recognizes that this is actually lead gen, and I just wonder how many new agents wonder. You wonder exactly what then Grant just said, and that's that he's walking around all day with like booming ideas. Now, for me, I'm so glad to hear that somebody else does that. I thought it was my old lady ADHD kicking in, and I just wasn't performing on all the things I should be doing. But I'm glad to know that somebody else is out there who's got a bucket of ideas that they still have to take off on. So, thank you.
Sure. But so the thing with me though is I'm not really an active agent anymore. Now I'm into recruiting agents, training agents, opening offices. That's what I do. So whenever I was a realtor, I had to be a little bit more strict and a little bit more regimented. But I mean, it depends. If you're playing the short game, which is I want 5 beats today, then you have to be regimented with cold calling or working your sphere or whatever the hell it is you're going to do. If you're playing more of the long game of I'm building a brand and I'm building relationships and I'm building all this stuff, then you can take a more abstract view of it like I do. There's not a right or wrong. One of them's going to lead to more ROI quickly, which is just lead genning all day. But there's nothing wrong with the way I do it. It just depends on what you were trying to accomplish.
Absolutely, you're right. And walking around with some ideas and being active out there in the community is a big thing when it comes to lead gen because people see you. People see you out there when you go into networking events, when you go to chamber of commerce events, when you go to networking with other realtors, because you're going to be doing business with those other realtors. And we are in a cooperation business and we are in the competition business. So this isn't my word, competition is important in this business. Um, so it's important, and it's important to be active, be doing something. What I tell new agents is you need to be doing something. The law of attraction is a fallacy, and people will boo me on that. However, the law of attraction was missing something. It was missing the action part because you can't sit on your couch eating bonbons and expect business to come to you because you're thinking it and you're feeling it. And whether how enthusiastic you are about it, you still have to go out and see people. They're not going to come to you, especially with competition and with all these other companies out there, the big box stores that are trying to eat our lunch. So law of action is great, or law of attraction is great, but law of attraction without action is nothing.
I agree. And I agree that you do unto others and all that good stuff too. In fact, I'm about to sign off, but I'm on my way to network and make extra money at the same time. I'm bartending on the side to help this restaurant who's short-handed. So I'm about to fly up in there and do that. But this conversation's been great, and I really appreciate you including me in on it. And I'm going to take the food for thought that you'd offer me and run with it.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And it's 1 o'clock. So usually I do it till 1:30, but I think I'm going to cut it off if if Robert has something to say or Shonda has something to say. I may add some more people to the room and see if we can keep it going. Um, but if not, I might be ending it at 1 so I can uh, go and eat some lunch and go pick up my kid from school on time.
Yeah, I'm picking up my 2 dogs, and then I'm going to have to bounce. But I appreciate inviting me up and having me be on today. It was cool hanging out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'll be on again tomorrow. So if you want to come in, feel free.
I will do that. I click the bell to tell me whenever you're speaking. So
Awesome. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate you.
yeah, appreciate you too. Y'all have a great day.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, Insta followers. How's everyone doing? I have to say hi to everyone before I leave. MS Monty. Sergio, what's going on, man? I am Kevin Guzman. Swimney Swim. and 3D Realty Solutions, Celeste. Oh, Kay Havnanian works for Kay Havnani, it looks like. TV Red and Bodie Birch Tree. Thank you so much for coming in and being part of our newly licensed Now What? And we will see you again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a fantastic day. Make it a wonderful day. Take care. Bye for now. All right. One more thing to stop. I hope you learned something today. Please like, follow, and share. Newly licensed Now What? You can find it on Facebook. You can find it on LinkedIn. You can find it on Twitter, two of my Twitter channels. You can find it on Instagram. And you can find me if you look down at the bottom, right underneath my name. My phone number's there. My website. I have to go this way. My website's there. My phone number's there. And if you want to call me directly, call me at 661 621 5340. We'll talk to you soon. Make it a fantastic day. Bye for now.